Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is the Piracy Show. Now, here on the map, we're looking at Vanduul space, and we're opening up all the jump points on the map so that we can see all the systems that are interconnected. Now, you also see some systems here are not connected. There are no known jump points to these other systems. Now, you might be wondering why I'm bringing this up, and the reason is because this could be a decent staging area for a pirate fleet. Now, a while ago we talked about the possibility of setting up a pirate base, what the limitations would be and what some of the risks would be, but one of the places that might be an interesting place to look at to set up a base, if it's indeed at all possible, is within the borders of Vanduul space. Now, like I said, some of the jump points aren't mapped on this star map, and we know that there are some undiscovered jump points between different systems. So it's possible that once we have access to this space, we might be able to explore beyond the known jump points and get into systems further behind Vanduul lines, or even find connections from established human-controlled systems that allow access deeper into Vanduul space itself. Now, what could you possibly expect going into Vanduul space? Let's say, quote unquote, through the front door, going into one of the systems that already has a jump point. Well, chances are when you jump into those systems, you're probably not going to find a wall of Vanduul ships waiting to annihilate you, unless, of course, that is something the game developers have put in until they have time to flesh those systems out. Chances are they're going to be fully developed star systems. They might have some missions or some mission hubs within them where you jump into the system and there might be an outpost or a star base right there where human forces battling for control of the system can either give you missions where it's like, go help these guys in this sector, or go help these guys over by that sector, or maybe it's, can you bring supplies to our outpost to help us supply the war effort, or perhaps bringing wounded back to human-controlled space. It could take a lot of different forms. This could end up being sort of end-game content, if you will. Large missions for fleets to go and battle large Vanduul fleets, earning reputation with human forces or factions. But either way, chances are, once you enter into this space, it's probably not going to be simply a wall of death waiting there for you. Chances are you're going to be able to go in, explore further, and then possibly connect through exploration these other star systems and see what's going on in those systems as well. So once these systems come online, it might be a good idea for pirates to explore what is and what isn't possible within these star systems. Can you, for instance, build a base within these systems? The limiting factor might be as soon as you build a base, all of a sudden the Vanduul forces descend upon you, or it could be basically like you just don't have permission to build here. Maybe getting a construction ship or any kind of real cargo ship to drop off a deployable base in whatever form that takes is impossible. Maybe you can only get, say, fighter-sized ships, or more specifically, stealth ships into these systems. Now, chances are getting around in this area is probably going to require one stealth ship or another. And there are orgs out there that focus primarily on stealth ships, so it might be a good idea to use these ships to go into this space and see what is and isn't possible. If you're in there exploring and looking for, at the very minimum, what is navigationally possible within these star systems, you might want to also look at what is possible within gameplay itself. Can you set things up in these star systems, and will it provoke a response from the Vanduul, or if you do it in a very careful way, can you not coexist but exist undetected by the Vanduul within these systems? At the very minimum, it might offer you a place to hide out while the heat cools off, or at the very maximum end of possibility, it might allow you a place to build a base where you're going to be kind of hard to get at. Now there's another reason for pirates to go in and explore this space, learn its ins and outs, what systems are connected with which, and probably even a few secret jump points around these systems. And that is that this area is going to probably represent some form of endgame for players who either work for or represent the UEE faction. Direct conflict with the Vanduul, protecting the Empire, that sort of thing. Now, it might be something as simple as, let's say, oh, if you go and destroy 15 Vanduul destroyers, then we'll give you the blueprints for the Type 9X turret that does 30% more damage. Or it might be a lot more involved. Too early to say, but chances are there are going to be orgs putting fleets together to go in and fight the Vanduul for some type of high-end reward. I mean, it's almost a given. Now, chances are some of those orgs might also be interfering with pirate operations every once in a while. They might look upon you a certain way and decide that they want to interfere with what you do and otherwise kind of spoil your fun. And what this represents is the possibility to go and turn the tables on them and spoil their fun in turn, and more or less create a situation where they might say, you know what, we can go mess with those pirates, but then, you know, when we go into Vanduul space and then we're in a fleet battle with the Vanduul, all of a sudden a bunch of bombers show up and take out one of our capital ships and turn the tide of battle against us, and then they bug out. So maybe messing with those pirates wasn't such a good idea in the first place, and maybe we should have kind of a Cold War situation with the pirates. We're not really talking about an official peace agreement, but more or less a Cold War through mutually assured frustration. But in the end, it should at least serve as a great place to go and develop the skills of stealth and evasion, things that are really going to be the bread and butter of any successful pirate organization within the game. So definitely a part of space that you should keep your eye on as soon as it becomes available, whenever that is. Now, I kind of want to diverge and talk about tomorrow's show a little bit, because obviously putting on ship updates tomorrow is going to be problematic at best, because all the real ship updates are going to be happening over the weekend at CitizenCon. So I doubt we're going to get any information of any real substance before I have to put the show together on Friday. So what I'm going to do is on Friday I'm going to put out another piracy show, and then on Monday I'm going to do ship updates, so that way I can take everything from CitizenCon, boil it down, go, oh, here's the really good stuff. This stuff maybe, but this was the really cool shit, and this is the ships that we should watch, and ooh, the construction ship that is but isn't. And hopefully we'll have a lot to talk about and have a show of real substance. So we're going to swap those two shows this week only, and well, I guess technically next week as well. We're going to swap those two shows around, and so tomorrow will be the piracy show, Monday will be ship updates, and hopefully it'll all work out and we will have a great CitizenCon over the weekend and have a whole bunch of shit to talk about. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.